Many women that I have interacted with recently have been asking questions like, what can I do to be a better mom? What can I do to be a better woman in my career? What can I do to be better? What can I do to be a better wife? And it seems like many women are feeling less confident, less excited, maybe less happy in the roles that they are in and wanting to know what they can do to be better. I find this very interesting, and I'm going to explain and ask you a key question that you need to hear in just a minute. But first, let me explain to you who I am. My name is Kimberly Holmes, and I am the CEO at Marriage Helper. I also have my master's and am currently getting my PhD in psychology, and I'm also a wife. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm clearly a businesswoman, and I've definitely asked myself these questions and felt like I needed to do something to be better. We'll get to that again in just a minute. But first, I want to let you know about an exclusive complimentary freebie that we have for you that I'm going to tell you about at the end of this video. So be sure to stick with me the whole time because you won't want to miss this free resource that's going to be really helpful for you to regain confidence, feel better about yourself, and ultimately end up having a better marriage because of it. So there's been something going around recently that has been called Imposter Syndrome. And when I first started hearing about it, I thought, I don't get it. Like that, it doesn't jive with me. It didn't really make sense to me until I actually interviewed a woman on my podcast about it, about feeling underqualified. Now, those words resonated with me. Those words, I thought, yeah, I have definitely in many different areas of my life felt like I was not qualified, like I could do better, like I wasn't enough, and there was something that I needed to change within me in order to live up to the expectations that were expected of me in those roles, being a wife sometimes included. And so I understand that there could be many women just like you out there who are asking, what can I do to be better? But the key question that I want you to ask yourself is this: what does better look like for you? What would have to change so that you would feel like you were a better wife? And I think that there are 3 categories that your answers could fall into here. So I want you to take some time to think about that question. Maybe you pause the video, write some things down, or if you're a quicker processor like I am, you probably already know what some of those things would look like. Maybe it's that you would know you were a better wife if your husband would respond more to you, if you did date nights more, if you were talking to him more, if you were making more of an effort to maybe step out of your comfort zone and do more for him. Whatever that is for you, you probably have an indication. But here's 3 things that I want to point out first. No matter what came to your head, the first thing that I wonder if it fell into you is that you are comparing yourself to other women. You don't feel good enough because you're just looking at everyone else's highlight reel on social media and how they have done all of the things while wearing high heels and pearls and dancing backwards, and you just feel like you can't live up. When the first Christmas that I was a mother, which was 2 years ago, I realized very quickly that I could not do all of the things. It was December, and so I was in the middle of trying to buy Christmas presents, plus both of my kids were in school. They were in 2 different schools because they were in 2 different preschools so that they could have childcare all week long. I, at the end of the day, had 8 different teachers to buy Christmas presents for, 4 different Christmas parties to go to, plus everything else going on in the middle of December. And I realized I can't do all of this. And I was looking at the things that other moms were sending in, these perfectly Pinterest curated goodie bags to take home from Christmas parties, these elaborate cakes and cupcakes they would bring to these events. And I was just good enough to show up. Forget bringing anything. I was the mom who was like, sign me up for the paper plates because that I can order from Kroger pickup and get there and actually just show up on time. And I felt like a bad mom. I felt like I needed to be a better mom. And I know we're talking about being a wife, but hear me out here. There's instances like that I've had in my marriage, that you've had in your marriage, that you've had as a mom if you're a mom, where you just feel like you can't do enough and everyone else is doing more. Stop comparing yourself. Look to what you can do. Look to what can make your marriage better. Stop comparing it to everyone else's. It's never going to look the same. And focus on what you can do. Second thing that I wonder came up for you as you were thinking of this is maybe you realize some things that you need to do to change and you are wanting to make an effort to begin changing them. I had a friend several years ago who realized that she had been extremely unsupportive and maybe even controlling of her husband. She realized that over the past decade, she had been telling him that she didn't think that the things that he did were good. If he wanted to enter into a new business venture, she would question him and really just play that devil's advocate. He didn't feel supported, and he kind of felt controlled, like she was the one trying to get her way and get her things to happen. It's not helpful for a marriage, but here is what is great. She wanted to be a better wife. She realized what she needed to do. She needed to be more supportive. She needed to be there more for her husband, and she began to do it. Now, the third thing that I think a lot of women run into in this is they want to be a better wife. Really what I think most of us mean by that is they want a better marriage. They want to feel better, more secure, more fulfilling, more satisfied in their relationship, but they're starting with themselves, which is good. But I think many women don't actually want to make the changes in order for that to happen. Take the situation I just told you of the wife who's not supportive, who was always second guessing her husband and what he was doing and what he wanted to do. Well, she could have very well realized that she was doing that and justified her actions, justified what she was doing, saying he needs to hear it. He needs someone to be double checking him or cross checking him and making sure that he's not making a mistake. I don't think he does like that. And if you just justify your actions and continue doing them, you're going to continue to get the same results you've always gotten. So whatever it was that came up for you, here's what I want you to understand. First of all, stop comparing yourself to other people. And second of all, you know the things that you need to change, more than likely, at least the ones that are most surface level. And you can begin to start doing that. Don't justify continuing to do them. If you in your gut know this is something I need to change, then begin to actually make a plan to change it. Here is what men need. Maybe I should have led with that. Here is what men need. Men want to feel like they are providers and protectors. It is part of the way that they're made. The way that God has made men is to want to have that drive within them. And that's great. That doesn't always look like men should only be the providers and protectors, not at all. In my marriage, my husband has been more of the stay-at-home dad, and I've been more of the working mom, and it works for us, but here's the key. I shouldn't treat him that way. I need to still understand that he has that internal need to provide and to protect, and I need to respect him and treat him as such. And so for me to be a better wife, it's being supportive of him. It's being understanding of what his needs are and me meeting those. Even when I'm coming home from work after a hard day, I'm coming home to him, having spent most of the day with the kids, I still need to be supportive of what that is. It looks different for all of us, and it's going to look different for you. So that's what men need. They need your respect. We need respect too as women. I'm not saying that what men need isn't what women need as well, but there are some just slight differences. They might need respect and need to see respect from their wives a little more than women look for in their husbands, even though we both need respect. Men need to feel like that provider and protector. Men need, just as women, to feel supported. Now, there's so much more that we could go into with this, which I don't have time to in this short video, but I hope this at least gave you a baseline of what you can start to do to be a better wife. First of all, stop comparing yourself to others. Second of all, realize what you need to change and begin to make a change and begin to make a plan to do so. And third, realize what your husband's needs are and ask yourself what you can do to start helping meet those. I even hesitate to say it that way because I feel like words like that have been used to berate women and put women in a certain role over the decades, and that's not where I'm coming from. Both genders have needs, but in this video, we are talking about you as a wife and what you can do for your husband. And so that doesn't mean that your needs aren't important. They are. It just means right now we're focusing on what you can do for your husband. It's very it's a big subject. There's so much that actually goes into being a better wife. This is just a quick thing that you can do to start with. But the best thing that you can do to be the best wife that you can be is to understand how to have the best relationships that you can. And that is what we do at Marriage Helper. We teach people how to have amazing, long-term, satisfying relationships. And the best way that we can help you do that right now is by this complimentary free mini course that we have to teach you how to attract your spouse towards you and how to become more attractive towards them, while also learning how to speak to each other in a way that is going to be really helpful for your marriage. You can click the link below to get access to that free course, which you should absolutely do, and it'll go even more into depth about some things you can do to become a better wife. You can be the best wife possible for your husband. You should be the best wife possible for your husband, and you can do it. We can teach you how.